In this video, we're going to look at how to work out the total interest that you pay. And I will share a personal story. This figure of the loan of 2.5 million was probably about 3 times as much as what I took out as a loan when my wife and I had been working for about a year or two, and we bought a flat together. And like I said, it was about a third this figure. And I did this quick calculation and just saw how much we were being ripped off. And I'll show you in this question how you can find out how much you're getting ripped off. So if you take out a loan, 2.5 mil for 10% compounded monthly, and it must be repaid over 20 years, what's the total interest paid? And so what you need to work out first is what the monthly repayments. And so to work out the total interest paid, so let's just call it total interest, just to keep it unoriginal, you need to work out what are you paying per month. So that X amount, the monthly amount, times the number of months that you've been paying it will give you a grand total, and then you just need to minus the loan. And just like that, the actual maths of this formula will feel like you're in grade 8, like the good old days when you weren't so stressed out. But we need to work out X just to begin this. And so it's a loan question, so it's 2.5 million. I don't know what the monthly amount will be. It's 1 plus, I like to write 0.10. Make sure that your power is negative, so it's over 20 years times 12, and that's all over 0.1012. I like to times this fraction at the bottom up first, and then in one shot I take that answer and I divide it by the entire bracket. Just helps me to get very accurate numbers, and when I do that I end up getting 24,125 and 54 cents, which, you know, if you're just doing sum after sum after sum, that doesn't mean too much, but let's just think about this realistically. So I'm paying 24,000-ish per month. Now, if I want to know how much of what I'm paying is going to paying off the loan, I use a simple formula. So the total interest that I'm paying is 24,125 Rand 54 cents every month, and it's a 20-year question, and there are 12 months in a year that I'm paying that for, and that gives me a monster number of 5.7 million. So this is exactly what you've paid the bank. You've paid them 24,000 every month. You've done that for 20 years. So this is literally what's left your hand and gone into the banker's hands, 5.7 million. But you know that the loan itself was only for 2.5 million. And so where's all the rest of the money gone that you know you've paid, the 5.7? It's gone to thin air. It's gone to simply paying off the interest. And so if this is you, and maybe 5, 10 years time, 15 years time, you're a working man, you're a working woman, and you're wanting to buy a flat, buy a house one day, and someone comes to you giving you some monthly amount, and it's all going to work out perfectly. Just think of this video, think of this question, where at the end of the day you realized that you've paid more money just into interest, just into thin air, than the loan itself. And so when I was a young buck, it's probably 25, 26 years old, and we got our first flat for about 750,000. And I did this sum kind of under the desk because I could work it out quickly. And I said to my wife, if we can just try and pay a little bit more than what they wanted, I think they wanted us to pay 6,800 per month to pay off the loan in 20 years. And I said, let's try see if we can pay 9,000 Rand per month. And obviously, just as another side note and as a sum, that will make your, if you choose what you're putting in for your X, in our case, 9,000 Rand, that's going to speed up the paying off of the loan, which it did for our flat. And it meant that the interest we paid into thin air was a heck of a lot less. And so we paid off this flat much earlier. We were then able to sell the flat earlier to then use that money to save. We used it to then buy a house. But you want to be the person that's earning interest for yourself rather than just paying interest your whole life to others. So I hope that you found this video and real life experience of numbers and figures helpful, just to gain an understanding of what's going on behind the scenes with loans and the interest that we're all paying. If you did, please like this video, subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends.